Now, Chisos already makes a really beautiful, well-built pair of cowboy boots. But in this video, we're going to upgrade the soles and we're gonna add a little bit of flair to it. My name's Oliver the Shoe Man. My wife and I own and run our family's 5th generation shoe repair business right outside Nashville, Tennessee. Now, this client got these Chisos secondhand and he wanted to personalize them. He wanted to customize them as well as change out the soles, because leather soles are great for riding horses and dancing. So if you're not doing those two things, a rubber sole is better suited for you. And so if you haven't seen any of our other videos on this channel, we talk a lot about the different rubber soles we have and which one's going to be best suited for what you're using the boots for. This customer specifically asked for the Vibram 700 sole, but we're also going to be doing a red stitch along the welt, as well as a custom brass toe plate. We're going to try to salvage that red midsole and the heel that Chisos is known for. So make sure you watch to the end to see the entire process, the final results, and how we do it. First, we got to take the boots apart. Now again, our goal is to keep that red little line, and all it is just a piece of rubber. And so I'm going to use a little bit of acetone and some nippers to deactivate the glue and pull up the heel from that red. I wouldn't say it's a midsole, it's a mid-heel, I guess, if you wanted to get real technical with it. The reason that they do this, and all cowboy boot brands do this, they just mainly do it in black to match the heel, is because rubber sticks to rubber better than leather. And so they will put a rubber piece down. You see these nails? They'll nail it to the heel base, and then they glue this on top of that, giving it a better bond. And then now I got to very carefully, you can see it's already kind of separating from the leather stacked heel base. Oh, don't know if this is going to work or not, but if it doesn't, I do have a backup. We do have some red material that I can use to replace this if this doesn't work out, which I kind of chipped the corner there, so I don't know if that's going to work out or not. Like I said, worst case scenario, I'll just put a new piece on there. And now we could take this leather stacked heel base off. This is a heel prior, hence why I'm using it, just to pry heels up. So I'm going around the entire boot, coming here to the end and getting in between the heel base and the sole and pry it up. And then what I did was I took it to my sander and I broke all of the stitching that holds the sole on. And so that'll allow me to start here in the back, separate the back of the sole from the heel rand, and we're gonna just slowly start peeling up the sole from back to front. Bada bang, bada boom, sole is off. And so at this stage we have this heel rand here, which is also known as a spur ledge. That's what gives you a little bit of lip on the back here to have your spurs ride on. We're actually gonna clean this up and reuse it because this is leather, so we could easily reuse that. You see here, this is a shank cover, I guess. We'll go ahead and reuse that piece as well. It's pretty cool. And now we get to take the welts off. Now these boots are made with a channeled welt, some people call it. Other people call it a hold fast, which is basically just this footbed here has a channel carved into it. And then the welt gets stitched through the uppers directly to the footbed. It is a very strong and sturdy way of stitching welts to boots. And the stitch is called a chain stitch, which is one thread that loops in and around itself a bunch of times. And so if you're able to undo one of them, most of the time you can kind of just pull this welt off. It looks like it's wanting to fight me. So let me see if I grab the thread from the inside. Had to grab a tool, different tool here. Let's see if I can pull this out some from the inside. Now these welts were in pretty good shape. They are in pretty good shape. But because we're doing a red stitch, you see here, this is the original stitch that held the sole to the welts. We could have just removed them, right, and then re-stitched it to the welt, but we couldn't guarantee hitting the original holes. And so sometimes the stitch can not follow those original holes, and it makes it look really weird. Now, if we were doing a brown stitch, we could have gotten away with it. But since we're doing a red stitch, it's going to pop quite a bit. We just wanted to guarantee a beautiful clean stitch. And so with fresh new welts, we have no holes that we have to follow. So we're punching, the machine is punching new holes, giving us a clean factory stitch. And this welt is being kind of stubborn. So I'm going to have to probably just cut it. I would like it to get, you know, a nice little like pull out for you guys. So it looks really cool in the videos. Fight the shoe and pull them out all one at a time. Oh, maybe we got lucky there. Oh, yep. See, that's what I wanted. The threads to come out in the chain. And maybe I'll show you here in this little small section that we got lucky with how all of these threads can come out in one shot. Let's see here. Grab it from the inside. Watch, let's see. That's what we wanted. And so now I'm going to have to take all of these out by hand. Alright, so due to a ill lack of time when I'm recording this, I've kind of skipped ahead a little bit. We've got our new leather welts on. We put heel rams back on, the shank cover, we filled our cavity with cork, and we have a midsole ready. Now this has some brown dyed in the waist, and now that is going to correlate and line up in this area because the heel ram will cover the top of the leather. The welts will also cover that, but in between here, this section is exposed. So we want that to be dyed dark brown before we put it on, so that after we're all done trimming everything, we don't have to try to stick a dye thing in there to try to dye just the midsole and get dye on the uppers. We don't want that. Okay. Go. Now, should you put midsoles on your boots when you get them resoled? Well, that depends on what you plan on using the boots for. Traditional cowboy boots don't come with a midsole because they are intended for riding horses. You want a thin sole so you can get in and out of the stirrups real easily. But if you're not riding horses, you're not dancing, then I would highly recommend doing a midsole. It's going to have much more support to the boot. You won't feel the ground as much because you got that extra layer there. It does give a little bit of a chunkier sole, but if you don't mind that, then doing a midsole is well worth it. Like I said earlier in the video, we talk a lot about the different soles we offer and why each one's beneficial for different purposes. The 700 is more casual, good for everyday boots, dress boots even. I know some people like leather on the dress boots. You can do whatever you want. We also have the 430, the mini lug, and the Vibram 100, which all have its own purposes for depending on what boot you want. All right, now that we got the soles glued on and trimmed, we're ready to stitch them onto the new welts we stitched. But before we do that, we have to carve a little notch here for our French tip. Now, what is a French tip? Simply a thin piece of metal that gets countersunk into the tips of the soles. And what that does is prevents the tips of the soles from wearing out prematurely. With these more narrowed toed boots here, our feet don't go all the way to the tip. It stops like right around there. And so when we walk, we don't naturally account for that extra room here in the toe. And so we kind of drag our feet and it wears out the tips of the soles prematurely. So by countersinking this piece in, if you do it properly, you won't hear the metal as you're walking and it'll prevent the toes from wearing out. Now we have a few different options. We have this Triumph toe plate, which is brass plated. So when we sand it from the edge, you'll see the steel that's underneath it. And as you walk, you'll see the steel kind of show through this brass plating. We have these Lulu tips, which is just steel, and that'll go something like that. Or we have these custom brass pieces. Now I order sheets of brass like this and I custom cut them to whatever shape I want. So I can do these on square toe boots if I want. I could do them on pretty much any shape that these two won't fit on. And the cool thing about these is when you do your edging, you see the brass from the side. There's no silver that's ever going to be shown. So we're going to mark out where this piece is going to sit. I've drilled out the holes, but I still have to I have to widen the top. I forgot what that's called. But I have to use a bigger drill bit to just drill through like half of it so that the screws we put in will be countersunk. All right, it is at this point in which I believe is the most stressful part of the job. After this, I'll either have to start completely over or I'll be extremely happy and get to complete this job. Here you see we got the little notch cut out. This is a little ramp. I learned this from another YouTuber, Steve at Beatles Leatherworks. When we're putting such a big, thick French tip in there, this lip right here, the machine will get caught on it. So we put a little rubber ramp there. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll see. Remember, customer wanted a red top stitch as well as a yellow bottom stitch. And I want this to be a little bit more narrower, not such a wide stitch. I like the look of a narrow stitch. We're going to see how this works. Check that beautiful stitch out. And that ramp idea worked absolutely awesome. Thank you, Steve. Definitely go check his YouTube out. He does really great work. But check that out. Now we gotta nail the heel, nail the waist, put our heels on, put our tips on, and we are done with these shoes. Oh man, let me tell you, these were a lot of work. A lot of work. But they are finally done, and I'm very happy with how they turned out. So let's take a closer look. Now, we could have reused the welts, but again, we ran the risk of that red stitching looking a little wonky if we did reuse the welts, which is why we went ahead and just replaced them anyway. Very happy that we ended up doing that. Just guaranteed a beautiful, clean red stitch from the factory. We did end up using the original heel reins. They were in great shape. We did a thin leather midsole. And after the thin leather midsole, we did our Cowboy 700, Vibram 700 soles. It is our best-selling sole for a reason. We did custom brass tips. So you can see that brass from the edge of the sole. Absolutely beautiful. We did a medium brown edge finished. I wasn't, unfortunately, able to save the red little pieces, so I ended up having to replace them. That little corner chipped off, so we ended up replacing it, and you know, you can't even tell that it's not the original pieces, and it matches the red stitching. Gorgeous medium brown edge finish, and yeah, these things are now one of a kind. They're going to be a lot more supportive than they were from the manufacturer because of that midsole. Truly, I won't see these things for a really long time. I know the customer's going to be extremely happy. He's been waiting very patiently. So thank you for your patience. I wanted to make sure these got the attention that they deserved. If you guys have any questions, you want to get a pair of boots recrafted, contact information is down in the description. The best way to get a hold of me is to text me. Our business cell phone is down there. Just text me some pictures of your boots, a description of what you want, and we can go from there. If you like this content, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. God bless you.